Hello and welcome to No Tactics. I'm Oscar.
And I'm Tom.
Are West Ham going to cause an upset against City?
Are Arsenal going to hold their nerve?
And will Tottenham get relegated? Where else to begin than probably the most influential game of the weekend in both parts of the table? West Ham versus Man City. Tom, this game has so many repercussions for so many different teams. I have obviously wild dreams about this game for one certain team. But how do you see this game going?
I don't know. West Ham are playing amazing at the moment. And obviously the big man up top isn't firing on all cylinders at the moment. So it's a weird game. I think West Ham may miss the drop. So that means they need to start picking up some
They need to get a win, yeah.
And Man City can't lose.
No, they can't draw.
I can't draw. So is everything. I couldn't even predict what this game is going to be like. Obviously, I'm going to predict the score, but I don't really know. What's your thoughts?
I mean, firstly, like under the lights, 8 p.m. I don't even know the stadium. I was going to say the bowling ground.
No, it's the London Stadium.
The London. I mean, that's like the most AI-generated name of a stadium ever.
I mean, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is
true.
Worse.
Yeah, couldn't think of a name.
Or Hill Dickinson.
Hill Dickinson. Yeah, to be fair, it's not Hill Dickinson. This game has so much potential to be an absolute barnstormer. I think in terms of how both teams approach it, West Ham will go for it. Or will they actually maybe just, because Nuno's now got them clicking now. There is a good feel factor. I mean, I saw that they beat Brentford the other day. I saw all the scenes in the changing room. They're just like hitting form at the right time at this point in the season. And there seems to be a good vibe about West Ham right now. I mean, earlier in the season, I think a lot of West Ham fans probably thought they were going to get relegated. But now they've all got hope. Can they carry this into this game where Man City for themselves, like you said, they can't afford to drop any more points?
Yeah, it's a really strange game because if you think about it, West Ham have got everything to play for. Man City got everything to play for. And it's the position of, has Pep put all his eggs in the basket for the Champions League? Because obviously against Real Madrid. But also, what are West Ham doing? Are West Ham going to be ready for what Man City are going to throw at them? Because Man City are going to throw the absolute kitchen sink at them because they can't lose. And it's almost the worst time to go against West Ham now for Man City.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of top six teams, historically, have done pretty well at West Ham Stadium. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago we beat them like 6-0 and lots of fans left halfway through the match. Man City have done pretty well in previous years. So West Ham really need to kind of put on a statement performance because for them it's about survival, and them winning, that puts Tottenham in huge, huge trouble. And we'll get onto Tottenham a bit later on. I think
of course we will.
Yeah, absolutely. For City, I mean, the man of the moment is obviously, of course, Semenyo. When they signed him, I was just like, he's a guaranteed hit in terms of like getting goals and assists for City.
Could he be the best January signing of all time?
That is a question. That is a great question.
Maybe that's another video. If you want to see that video,
if City win the league,
put it in the comments.
If City win the league, then you would have to say it was because of that signing. He's actually kept them in the title race. I'm convinced of that. Them signing Guehi and Semenyo is quite a Man United-esque kind of transfer in the sense we're just going to pick the two best performing players for lower league teams and they're going to come in and raise the level. And I think they've done that. So I think credit to City for signing them. That has definitely kept them in the hunt. And I think, both Semenyo and Guehi will give them a chance to still be in this competition, but also to win on Saturday because they have to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think those signings weren't just for this season. I think there was the hope that Arsenal might slip up, and obviously there could still be a banana skin. You never know. But the position for City right now are, we're getting these two players who are in the peak of their powers.
Yeah.
So next season, when they put obviously more players in the summer, it's going to be a lot harder of a league next year. I'm sure of it. But then also Arsenal will develop, everything like that. I now believe it's Arsenal's league. I think it's going to be Arsenal win the league. Which I think is probably the worst thing for me to say to you.
Stressing me out, man. Yeah,
I know, but
you've changed the tune, man, and you're actually positive about Arsenal, and I don't like it. I preferred it when you slagged us off because then actually I could be kind of chill. But now you kind of put the pressure. It's like I'm playing. I'm not playing. Okay, let's just stick back to the game. What's your prediction, and then we can talk about my club.
Do you want to know? I think it's going to be a draw. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. But as we will speak later, I think there could also be an upset in the Arsenal game.
Yeah, no, I think I was thinking a draw, both my heart and my head. But I think West Ham are going to fight and they're going to give it everything. I do.
You're going to say West Ham to win?
No, I said they'll draw.
Okay.
But I think it'll be like a battling draw, and whether City might be winning for the whole game, and then West Ham get something at the end, maybe even a draw. Is that good for West Ham? I don't know. A draw is good for neither team, really.
I'd love to see the Souček helicopter though. That would be so good.
Souček whipping out the helicopter. I'm here for it. So I do think it'll be a draw, but I don't think that will satisfy both teams. But it will be a really good game. I'm sure of that. Mm-hmm. Moving on to the other game in the title race is, of course, Arsenal versus Everton. On paper, I think a lot of people might think, yeah, pretty standard Arsenal win. But it's not as easy as that, is it, Tom? As the last few weeks have shown. We had a wobble, and we managed to recover. We haven't looked the most convincing in terms of performances, but in terms of results, we've been grinding them out. This is a game where I think a lot of Arsenal fans in that stadium are going to be nervous if we don't score in the first half, or even Everton score. You will then start to get that horrible sick feeling in your stomach, which I've been feeling, Tom. How do Arsenal not make this game nervy for me?
I feel like Arsenal, the reason why I believe Arsenal are going to win the league now is because...
I said it again.
I know. I keep saying it, touch wood. The reason I think that Arsenal are going to win the league now is because they're in the position of when they're playing like shit, which isn't... They're not playing like shit. They're playing not bad.
They're not playing to their potential.
They're not playing well. They're not scoring the goals they should do. I feel like they're still grinding out results. And that's a massive thing. Like, you've seen the massive teams over the years that have had dips in form in the league, which Arsenal always have a dip in the form after Christmas, which you can see it's happening, but your defence is so strong that it's really, really making a difference. And a player that I've been absolutely screaming about to you, Hincapié. I think that guy...
I hold my hands up.
Yeah, you didn't rate him.
I saw an analogy, and I'll say it to you, Tom. Hincapié is like your dog driving a car. Your dog's driving a car. Your dog is also driving a car. Like, it's crazy. Like, he shouldn't be driving the car, but he is. And recently, his performances have been brilliant. He's actually been, in hindsight, a really good signing for Arsenal with Calafiori being injured. He's come in, and yeah, he did start off a bit shaky, but he's been one of the best players in this sort of spell. And I think actually with Hincapié in the team, whilst, players like Calafiori injured, we need him because we needed a squad. If you looked at our team last season, we were down to the bare bones. I'm pretty sure when I saw our bench against PSG, we had Bazinga, or whatever his name is, Ethan, from the sidemen on our bench. We had like an 18-year-old kid. Like, now you look at our bench, it's stacked. And I think at this point in the season, you need players to come in who can actually help you when other players are not available. So Hincapié has been brilliant.
I don't think it's just that. I think one of the biggest things about him, and I was saying this at the start of the season when you've signed all these players, you need people that have won stuff. Your whole team are so young that have either come in from a team that they haven't won things, but they were the best player on that team, or like obviously Eze came in, he's not obviously sparkled as much as he did for Palace, and he hasn't so far. But Hincapié went a whole season in the Bundesliga without losing. They got so far within the Champions League. They're such a strong team, that Bayern Leverkusen team, and he's come in and he's almost the perfect utility player. I think he's better than being a utility player, but obviously Calafiori started the season and did really well. So I don't know. He's a player.
I expect him to start on Sunday because I don't know where Calafiori is. He always has these injuries, and yeah, I think if I'm looking at the prediction, then if we are to win this league, you have to win Everton at home. That you just have to. I'm sorry, like you can't be expected to win the competition if you do wobble at this stage. Against who I must actually say, before we give a prediction, Everton have been one of the best teams away from home. Yeah. And they are kind of an awkward team to play against in the sense that, yeah, they are solid, resolute. They're also kind of good at your set pieces, physical. So it will be a sort of a bit of a dogfight, and it could just come down to a set piece. We've shown that in recent games. So Everton, I don't think will have anything to fear. You got to also think they've had quite a lot of rest. Since their last game, they've not been in the FA Cup. We've recently played in the Champions League, so that will have a factor. But I think just this moment in the season, you just have to be up for it. Every game is now just going to be a slog. I think it's going to be a 2-1. I don't think any game left in this season is going to be fun to watch. My heart is going to be in absolute tatters, but we will find a way. Touch wood.
If you're saying fun to watch, I think this may be one of those games that is fucking boring.
Oh,
I believe...
If it's boring and we win, I don't care.
No, I believe this is going to be a 0-0 game.
It was 0-0 last year, to be fair.
And also, do you remember what was happening with Everton versus United? All what was happening is they were putting the ball on the goalkeeper consistently. It was like a rugby match in the box, and it was horrible. And Raya is a fantastic goalkeeper. I think what will happen is it'll be very similar to the United game, but I feel like it's just not enough to be able to get a goal. I feel like it could just be one of those games where there's so many chances. Pickford and Raya have an absolute stormers of games, both have stormers of games, and I think it's going to be a 0-0 game.
I think it's going to be tight, and yeah, if it does come down to a set piece, if it does come to like a goal mouth scramble, but we win, so be it. Like I said, Arsenal fans don't care how we win, just win. So let's see. I pray for my heart, otherwise I'm going to be calling an ambulance after that game. Going back down further to the table, Tom, there's actually a very intriguing game for another relegation candidate team. Tottenham Hotspur go to Anfield and play Liverpool. Now, before you look at the context of what's going on, this game, in my eyes, has always been a really good game. I think it's one of the highest scoring fixtures in the Premier League. And boy, this definitely could be a high scoring one when I look at that Tottenham defence. How do you see this game?
I can't believe that Champions League game. That's the thing. I can't get over it. I can't get over that they subbed their goalkeeper after 14 minutes. I know it's nothing to do with this game, but Spurs are in deep waters.
Big trouble.
Deep waters. I can't believe that they're going against Liverpool now, where Liverpool are...
They've not been great either, to be honest.
No, they lost to Galatasaray in the Champions League, and I just don't know. Like, I think they're going to absolutely demolish Spurs, but I don't know.
Would it be just the most Spursy thing if they win by accident, though? Like,
an own goal off Van Dijk or something.
Yeah, man. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, for Spurs, the way they're playing right now, the total opposite to West Ham. None of their players believe. I mean, I watched the Palace game where they lost 3-1. The game the other evening against Atletico Madrid. You look at all those players, they genuinely look defeated. I actually don't see any hope for them. Even their manager, Tottenham fans are calling for him to be sacked. He's been there for a minute. But you know what? Maybe they do have to, because right now they're so deep in trouble. Something needs to change. I don't know whether that is the manager, formations, players. I mean, they've got hardly any players left because they're all either getting red cards or injured. Van de Ven got obviously suspended. Look, I'm loving it, but I genuinely am worried for that team. I don't see how they're going to get themselves out of it. If it is a draw or a win against Liverpool, that could be what bounces them back. But for Liverpool, they have to win because of where they are in the table. They didn't see themselves being in a Champions League battle. So for them, Tottenham at home is a must-win.
Yeah, and I've already seen the Ryan Mason shouts. I've already seen that Spurs fans are wanting Ryan Mason in, which is just...
He could probably still do a job in that team.
Probably. Yeah, absolutely. He'll come in the midfield and absolutely play. I feel like the love for Arsenal fans for this moment, understandably, is great. Obviously, seeing Man City get relegated would be the dream.
Man City get relegated?
For me.
Oh, for you. Yeah, sorry, you got me excited.
For me. Obviously, 115 charges, we can't talk about them. But I think it might be one of the worst things for Arsenal. It sounds crazy, but... think about the Newcastle-Sunderland rivalry over the years. The derby that Newcastle have always been hoping that Sunderland almost come back so then they can beat them. But it was one of those things. Imagine Spurs go down into the Championship. They're not coming back anytime soon.
They will, man.
The Championship is
especially now they've changed it in the promotion where there are now 6 teams that can get promotion.
So I'm
happy
strong.
If it's for one season, it'd just be the funniest thing. I don't care if they come back up. Just we need it for the memes. But less about memes, Tom. Result. How do you see this game going?
Hopefully 3-0 Liverpool and Ekitike hat-trick.
Because you've captained him.
Because I've got him as captain.
FPL. Look, I don't see anything other than a Liverpool win. I think it's just by how much. God, genuinely, this could be a cricket score if Liverpool score early.
But they scored 2. So Spurs scored 2 against Atletico, and Atletico,
Atletico put their foot off the gas after the fourth goal.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Tottenham are capable of scoring, but I can tell you now they're not capable of not conceding. I think this is going to be a 3-1. I'll give Tottenham a goal, 3-1 Liverpool, but this is going to be tasty.
Oh, it's going to be such a good game.
One last one, and actually, also a game of massive significance in terms of the top four.
And I can't believe we left it to last. Ridiculous.
Best or last, I don't know. But Man United versus Aston Villa. Now, Aston Villa have fallen off.
What's happened to them?
Oh my God. But I'm not saying you guys have fallen off, but you guys are not in your honeymoon period anymore, are you?
Come on. We conceded in the last minute of the game, and we were against Newcastle, which Newcastle...
10 men.
I know, but typically Eddie Howe...
And they deserve to win.
Yeah, they did deserve to win. We didn't play very well.
No.
And when we had a day off, it didn't make sense. It just didn't look like what we've had recently. But I'm going to say it's one game.
You were due a loss, man. I know, the feel-good factor... you've been bouncing every time I've seen you. Now it's okay... Yeah. Just breathe and relax. And I think in a weird way, maybe you not needed that loss, but I think just to ground you and a lot of Man United fans in terms of expectations for the season, the whole Carrick thing, it actually calms things down a bit. And I think Villa's kind of the perfect game for you guys to bounce back, because Villa have absolutely fallen off a cliff. You guys are at home as well. I do see you guys winning this game, to be honest.
Yeah, I see us winning. I think there's a crazy shout that United are going to push really deep into that top four. I think we're going to be third, and I think it's going to happen because of just sheer determination.
And the other teams, not being consistent. Liverpool, all right, Chelsea have got a couple good results, but that top 4-5 race, like we said with Villa, a few months ago, everyone was putting them in the title conversation. And then there's this kind of thing with Emery, with his sort of second half of the season. They completely fall off a cliff, and they've had a lot of injuries, in fairness. I do also think they're going to put a lot of their eggs in the basket for the Europa League, which will naturally make them fall off even more in the Premier League. So I think, there's a very decent chance that you could get third in this whole race. And you have to win on Sunday if that's going to be the case.
And I think we're going to win. I think, if I'm going by score predictions, I think it's going to be a hard-fought 2-1.
2-1. I'm going to say 2-0. I really don't have any sort of hope for Villa. I think you guys will lock it down. I don't really see where Villa are going to get a goal from at the moment. And Fernandes is going to keep his run of form going on as well. He's been brilliant. So
just because he's in your FPL, that's all you can.
He is in my FPL. Well done, Bruno. Good on you, son. Well, those have been our Premier League predictions for the weekend. Let us know in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I've been Oscar.
And I've been Tom.
We've been No Tactics.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.